All right, what's up, everybody? So, we are leaving my apartment and I am going to the gym, driving straight to Planet Fitness. But I want to talk a little bit about, what's going on, kind of post-trade, post-inflation trade video. Later tonight, we're going to do an overall market analysis at 5 o'clock. But I want to give you guys a little something here because, I had a big day. I had a great day. It was a little nerve-wracking overnight, and to be honest with you, I could barely sleep. I slept like 4 hours. I got up at like 4 o'clock, started looking at the markets. And this is kind of what I want to talk about, right? Because I'm obsessed. When I get obsessed with stuff, and I get addicted too. I gotta try to express myself correctly here. So it was nerve-wracking, but I had a very, very good. My call worked out, right? I was calling that inflation was going to come in a little bit cooler than some of the expectations and stuff. And we needed the core inflation, right? Core inflation, I think, was 0.3, so it's down, which is very good. Like it increased 0.3, but that's down from last month, which was higher than that. And by core inflation, we're excluding energy and food prices when we talk about the core inflation. And that's really the piece of it, because that shows us, like, autos, which have been coming down, rents are in there as well. So that kind of stuff. It came in cooler, right? So my call was right. Now, how did I gain exposure to the CPI volatility? Well, I decided to stick with the tried and true fintech, and I put about $1,500 into calls yesterday. Now, I've been making, transfers into my bank account, right? So I'm not trading with all my cash, but that was about half of my account at the time, right? Because I had like $3,000 or maybe $3,500 yesterday, I think is what it was. So I put this trade on. I put $1,500 into it. And, today we're up nearly $7,000 on this trade. And it was a swing trade, right? Because yesterday it was impossible to scalp because of the back and forth, the delayed reaction to the elections, not knowing all the results of the elections, the FTX fallout, right? The whole crypto collapse. There's just a lot going on besides the inflation. But that is, trading the macroeconomic events it can be much more profitable than just like investing or doing these little scalps and stuff. So I kind of scaled into my position. I was positioning myself, and there were indicators right there. There's the auto prices, which have been coming down. Used car prices have been coming down the past few weeks. You got to consider all of this on these trades, and I did. So my call worked out, and now I'm feeling like immediately at pre-market when we started popping. You guys can see this on Instagram. Like, the proof is all on my Instagram page. Go follow me at Millennial Trades. But when we got that little pop, it was exhilarating. But when the market opened and I saw where my contracts were compared to where I bought them at, you're talking about some of these, I paid like $40-$50 for some of these contracts. And I went in deep, right? I was holding like a lot. More than 10, more than 15. And so, these contracts are now worth $200 at the open. I'm not messing around with that, right? I'm not taking a chance that that's going to turn around. So I sold, I took them all off. I took some off, took half of them off at 200. It popped up to 210. I took the other half off. And, I looked at my account. I looked at my gains. It was exhilarating, right? I was confident in my trade. Don't get me wrong. I was confident, and I was trying to brace myself for, psychologically for either a very nice win or maybe it comes down and I'm back to where I was yesterday. But the feeling, right? It is exhilarating. I am not gonna lie. That was my biggest trade ever, right? The biggest amount of money I've ever made in one trade. And it's like, I don't have to trade the rest of the month, really. I could call that right there a month and just start over in December, right? I mean, that's enough. Dude, it's a lot. It's a lot, and right now my bills are paid. I'm working on my credit, which I haven't talked a lot about, but I've got credit builder projects that I'm working on with my bank, my credit union. And, so it's like, am I going to trade the rest of the month? Yeah, I mean, definitely. The hard part is going to be making the withdrawal tomorrow, right? After my cash settles, I need to take like half of that out, because there's no reason I should be trading with like 10 grand in my account. But it's pretty amazing, man. It's exhilarating, and trying to come down from it, because I don't know if every trader experiences this, but I'm a hardcore, like, addictive personality type of person, right? I'm a hardcore addict in my soul, and I never seem to be able to overcome it, right? I'm weak in that way. I still love caffeine. I love THC. I drink a little bit. I've made videos about this, but recently I got off of Suboxone maintenance, right? I got off of Suboxone maintenance, and my opiate addiction, even though I'm kind of over that, I'm not really over it. It expresses itself in like other ways. So making a lot of money like this overnight, like I made more money tonight, or in this overnight trade, than I could have like driving a forklift, or serving tables, right? I made more in one night than I could have in like 2 months worth of working. And that's not to brag, that's just to show you the reality of how much can be made. But we know the reality of how much we can lose as well. We got to keep that in mind. I was prepared to lose like $500-600 on the trade. That was the most I wanted to lose on it. And it's hard with option contracts, and especially if you're playing overnight volatility trades like this, it's hard to set stop losses, because the trade could have gapped down. If inflation came in hotter, it would have gapped down, and I would have been real underwater, hoping that it bounced or something. But trying to come down from it, and then trying to realize that, because there's going to be part of me that's going to be chasing this now. I'm going to be chasing, and I'm just being open and transparent as a trader, as a personality, as a, sharing my struggles with addiction. There's going to be part of me that's going to feel like, oh, I deserve, $1,000 gains every single day. It's like, I can't be going down that road, because there's going to be days where I'm going to have to take $50. There's going to be days where I'm going to be down 200. And I just have to live with that shit. Even though I was up 7 grand in one day on my last trade. You're only as good as your last trade too, right? You're only as good as your last trade. I'm going to work out right now. You're only as good as your last workout. And finding consistency after this, it's going to be difficult psychologically, because there's going to be days where because I usually scalp, and it's hard to make these kind of gains scalping, right? Because I was playing a big overnight move from like $70 to $85, right? Huge move. I mean, my contracts were deep in the money this morning. The other thing is too, I went to go check, if I had held them maybe half an hour longer after the pullback, the contracts were worth like 300 at one point in time. But you can't pick tops, right? And that's why I don't even go down that road anymore. I think I'm disciplined enough to I mean, I could have held them, could have held half of them, but who cares? Who fucking cares? Right? But there's that voice inside, that's like, it'll be there on the next trade. You'll think, oh, I should have held my trade longer last time. I'm going to hold it. That's where I started getting messed up last time. So I hope this makes sense, guys. I don't want to ramble too much, but coming down from this, I mean, it's like a euphoria, and maybe I'm the only trader out there that experiences this, but I highly doubt it. It's like a euphoria, and you realize that it's not healthy. You need to come back down to reality. So my goal is to not trade at all tomorrow. I'm making a big transfer to my bank, and I'm gonna come back Monday fresh, level-headed, and trading with maybe $3,000. All right, because that's about what I had in my account a few days ago, like on Monday. I'm up 10 grand this week. 10 grand this week, and I can't believe it. Anyways, God bless all of us. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, may all of you be blessed today. Tithing too. I got to make a video about tithing. All right. I'll see you guys on the next one.